You have two jobs or careers to choose between, and it seems to me that it always comes down to interest and practicality. So you might have one choice where you'd enjoy it more, you feel drawn toward it, but then the other choice is more practical. It just makes sense. There's more money, more opportunity, but it doesn't jive with what's going on in your heart or whatever you want to call it. To me, this choice is easy because I've been living this way my whole life. I would just go with the one that's most interesting to me, because when you're interested in something, you have energy, you have excitement, which means you'll put in the work. You'll put in the extra work that others may not. Now then the question becomes, well, I won't earn as much. And then the question becomes, how much do you need to earn? There's only so much money you need to live a good life. And you have to find that number out for yourself. Because if you just think that, okay, more money is better, you'll end up miserable because you'll end up realizing that it's not the case. Money is needed, money is good. You can do stuff with money, but ultimately there are other things that are more important than money. So when you're making the choice, be very aware of the fears in your mind. The voices in your head, maybe from your parents or peers or society, that say what the right choice is, but ultimately you know in your body. You're drawn in a certain direction. So the question becomes, do you actually want to live your life? Do you want to go on an adventure, or do you want to take the safe path? And the interesting thing here is that the safe path is not safe, because there's no way to know what the future holds. Something that seems safe today may not be safe in 5 years, 10 years. So you can pick the safe path, end up not so fulfilled. You may not enjoy yourself. You may have money for a bit, but then you may end up worse off than if you just followed what was interesting. Now, obviously, I'm assuming that both jobs and careers give you plenty of money to support your rent and food habit, but one may just be less. So then it comes down to simplifying your life, cutting expenses that you don't need. You may not need the latest car, phone, computer, the most expensive vacation. All those things we need, we don't really. They're just things we want, we prefer, maybe. And what's going to matter more in the long run is how much you enjoy your day-to-day life. And that's why it's so simple to me to go after what I'm interested in. Yes, there are fears of making the right choice, but we can't know what the future holds. So the fear can be there, but it doesn't change anything. You can have ideas in your head about what's the safe path, but that doesn't change the fact that you're drawn in a certain direction for a reason, or at least that's the way I see it. I see us being a part of nature, of humans being a part of nature, because we come from elements of the earth. Before we're born, a mother needs to consume nutrients and food and all kinds of things that form the building blocks of a baby. And those building blocks come from the earth, the elements of the earth. So we are connected to the earth. And the point I want to make here is that since we are a part of all this, we are connected to everything that's going on here. And to me, what I'm interested in is my body and life telling me where I'm supposed to go. Now, I may be wrong, I don't know, but so far in my life, that's turned out to be right on, because I enjoy my life. I could have taken paths where I would have made a lot more money, but at this point I don't even care, because I'm just doing something I enjoy, and I'm making enough to support me, my family. So there's this conflict usually between interest and practicality, where you want to go, where you think you should go. And ultimately, no one knows. I don't know where I'm going. You don't know where you're supposed to go. And we don't know what's coming, even though some people may think they do. They seem certain, but they're not. So to me, the choice becomes obvious. You do what you're interested in. You take that path, and you see what happens. You deal with whatever comes. And that's it. You reclaim authority and responsibility for your life. Listen to others. Take in information, that's fine. But don't take a path just because someone told you that it's the right choice. There's no security in anyone else's opinion over what you should do. You can listen to them, but ultimately you need to determine what's right for you. What are you interested in? Where is life calling you to go? And the more you begin to make choices that are truly yours, the more you start to notice how your body reacts, what you feel drawn to do, what feels magnetic, what feels interesting, and that's going to lead to a very interesting life. You'll make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Things will go right, things will go wrong. That's a part of life. That's not a problem. That's not a mistake. The mistake is taking a path you know is not right for you. And it's going to be scary, but usually the things we're most interested in doing are scary because we're pushing ourselves, we're growing, and that's what a good movie is about. And this is your movie. You're the hero in your movie. So make the choices that are interesting to you and see what happens. And don't take your mind too seriously. Your thoughts, they come and go. We pay too much attention to all of that. But that's another video. I've talked about it quite a bit, and I'll keep talking about it because we take our thoughts so seriously, and it stops us from living the lives we truly want to live.